THV 11 News at noon begins with new details on this devastating restaurant fire out of Polk County. Take a look at the smoke and the flames engulfing the iconic Old South restaurant in Russellville. Firefighters are now finished battling the blaze, but it took them most of the overnight hours to get it under control. We're glad you're with us on this noon. I'm Karen Fuller in for Journey Taylor today. THV 11 continues our coverage of the Old South restaurant fire. Our Brooke Buckner is on the scene in Russellville to show us the aftermath and how everyone is coping with this loss. Brooke?
Hey Karen, that's right. Just take a look behind me at the Old South restaurant. This is what's left of it. As you can see, the damage is pretty extensive. Now, I arrived here around 10:45 this morning. I saw firefighters gathering their equipment, and they did one last walk around with some caution tape, trying to make sure there weren't any hot spots that could start a fire again. And I also caught up with the mayor, who told me all about how this restaurant is such a staple in the community. And the owner, I also spoke to him, and he says the restaurant opened in 1947. He's owned it for the last 9 years, and he says people in town love this restaurant, and even people from out of town love to come here and enjoy a meal.
Just kind of shocked right now. Just trying to figure out what the next steps are. Concerned about employees. You know, like I said, right now we would have, the restaurant would be full right now.
Now, the owner says, as you just heard it there, he's not exactly sure what those next steps are. He's still processing all of this. This is not how he expected to wake up to this news and spend his morning out here with the firefighters. But luckily, the community is already coming together and donating some money to help his employees get back on their feet who are out of a job right now. So I'll have more details on how you can help if you're interested on THV 11 tonight at 5 and 6. For now, I'll send it back to you in the studio, Karen.
All right, Brooke, such a loss for that community. In the meantime, a fire in Maumelle leaves families searching for a new home today. The fire destroyed an apartment building, but some residents say they are still grateful for the kindness of the community who stepped in to help right away.
I just grabbed what I could and got out the door, and as I was coming out, the firefighters were actually about to come up the stairs. So, I mean, everything was in flames on the roof.
She says Brandy Brown and her 2 children are safe today because of a friend who alerted them to the fire. No injuries, in fact, are reported. We're told all the pets are accounted for as well. Iana Sims, her daughter, and their neighbor, Elizabeth Jones, are still trying to comprehend how fast it all happened.
It's devastating to know that you leave home and you come back within 2 hours and you have no home to go to.
The big thing is finding a place to stay and clothing.
Right.
That my main focus, and everything else will come.
If you'd like to help any of the people impacted by this fire, you can call the Millwood apartment complex or simply show up to donate items.
Well, it sure has been a warm afternoon all across Arkansas. In fact, we warmed up pretty quickly today. Here is what we're looking at across Arkansas at the noon hour. 88 degrees, getting really close to that 90-degree mark in Little Rock. I do think a lot of us probably will break into those 90s today. In terms of your satellite and radar picture, we're dry out there. There is a small chance of rain today, primarily late this afternoon into this evening. That chance only 20%. A high of 94 expected in Little Rock. A light breeze out of the east, 5 to 10 miles per hour expected. We do think we're going to be warm the next several days. These afternoons are going to be breaking into those 90s. Thankfully, the humidity is not too bad. We do have some weekend rain chances to talk about. We'll have a breakdown of that and how it could impact any outdoor plans coming up in just a few minutes. In the meantime, we get to check in with Chief Meteorologist Tom Brannon live in Arkadelphia, where it's a little warm out there, I understand, Tom.
Oh, Scott, we are having a day here in Arkadelphia. By the way, we talked about the Burger Barn here at Arkadelphia on the morning show, and he came through with burgers, Scott. Got one right here. It's got your name on it. I doubt it's going to make it back to you, but I do want to thank the folks from Burger Barn. I'm sorry. All right. Hey, we've had a big day here at Arkadelphia. We'll give you the totals in just a few moments, but I do want to thank the folks at the Arkadelphia Brookshire's providing a $200 gift card. That's 200 boxes of cereal for the Arkansas Food Bank. They've been our hosts today, and they've been so nice to us, as well as the folks that have come out from Clark County and Arkadelphia, the Clark County retired teachers, which have been a big help. You're going to see some big numbers coming up in just a few moments, but if you're in town, or if you live in town, you got till 12:30 to drop off a box or two or cereal, make a donation. Tomorrow it's Bryant, Saline County. We expect to come out and see us at the Bryant Walmart Supercenter. More on that coming up in a few moments. Back to you.
All right, Tom, and thanks Arkadelphia today. New at noon, a Pine Bluff man is facing murder charges accused of killing a young man several weeks ago. 20-year-old Will Rogers is charged in the shooting death of the teen at the MLK Park on May 7th. 3 others suffered injuries. Police caught up with Rogers Monday, taking him into custody. He's now charged with murder, battery, and terroristic acts. And in a THV 11 update, a Benton man is now facing 100 counts in a charge of possession of child sexual abuse materials. 59-year-old Michael Vining is accused in this horrific crime. An investigation by the Saline County Sheriff's Office uncovered evidence on an electronic storage device. That evidence led to voyeurism charges, which is someone watching or recording someone without their consent. In all, Vining is charged on 100 counts of distributing, possessing, or viewing matter depicting sexually explicit conduct involving a child. An Arkansas death row inmate is allowed to sue the state over DNA testing. That's the ruling by a 3-judge panel finding that Stacy Johnson can proceed with the lawsuit. Johnson is accused in the murder of Carol Heath in 1994. In 2017, days before his execution date, Johnson filed a petition to have new physical DNA testing on evidence related to the murder. A state trial court and then the state Supreme Court denied his request, but now the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals is overruling those prior findings. Johnson tried to file a lawsuit against the Attorney General for, quote, continued refusal, but it too was denied. So again, a panel of the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals ruling state officials can be sued now by Johnson. The Public Service Commission plans to lay out its complaint against Summit Utilities at a meeting scheduled for Tuesday, August 15th. Many Arkansans have been frustrated with their natural gas prices, and the regulatory board has been investigating the company for months. In January, Attorney General Tim Griffin joined Arkansas customers complaining about those rapidly rising bills. It followed Summit's takeover of CenterPoint Energy at the end of 2022. Leadership for the commission has been reviewing evidence from the natural gas company since. Developing right now, the Republican presidential field is getting even bigger, with at least 3 more hopefuls looking to jump into the race for the Republican nomination as soon as today. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie will jump into the 2024 GOP race during a rally in New Hampshire later this afternoon. And then tomorrow, former Vice President Mike Pence is set to kick off his presidential bid in Iowa after filing his paperwork on Monday.
We have a very clear sense of that calling now, and we thought Iowa would be the best place to make our attention.
Iowa, of course, the first caucus state in the nation. With those 2 plus North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum's anticipated announcement tomorrow, the Republican field is expanding into the double digits this week. That sound was a sonic boom. It was heard for miles around the Washington, D.C. area yesterday. It happened when a small plane crashed after going into restricted airspace. That sent F-16 scrambling to intercept the plane that had 4 people on board before it crashed in a wooded area in Virginia. The FAA says the plane took off in Tennessee and was heading for Long Island when it turned around and flew a straight path over D.C. The NTSB investigators are still trying to investigate the cause. New research indicates there may be a better way to predict breast cancer risk. Astrid Martinez has the findings of a new study.
Artificial intelligence can do a better job than the standard clinical risk model when it comes to predicting breast cancer. That's according to a new study in the journal Radiology. Researchers from Kaiser Permanente, Northern California, applied 5 different AI algorithms to thousands of mammograms and found each one was better at predicting the 5-year risk for breast cancer than the standard risk model known as Breast Cancer Surveillance Consortium, or BCSC. That model uses information including age, family history of the disease, whether the patient has previously given birth, and whether she has dense breasts to calculate a risk score, whereas AI just uses the mammogram itself. For example, among women with the highest risk, AI was able to predict up to 28% of cancers, compared to 21% predicted by the standard model. Researchers add combining the 2 risk models improves cancer prediction even more. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
According to the CDC, around 264,000 women and 2,400 men in the U.S. are diagnosed with breast cancer every year. Stay with THV 11 News at noon. When we come back, we'll take you back to Arkadelphia for more summer cereal drive fun with Tom Brannon. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Scott Covert.
Hey, not a bad day at all across Arkansas. You're looking live off towards the west from our view 11. It's warming up outside. Temperatures today expected to be back in the 90s. Is there any relief in sight? And how about those chances of rain? I've got an update for you on that coming right up.